Welcome to MJ Stories Creation. Today we begin the remarkable story of one of history's greatest military leaders, a man whose name became a symbol of courage, honor, and mercy across both the Muslim and Christian worlds. He was the leader who united a divided Muslim world and reclaimed Jerusalem after nearly 90 years of Crusader rule. His name was Saladin, known to history as Salahuddin Ayyubi. But Saladin was not born a legendary warrior or a mighty sultan. He began life as an ordinary young man from a Kurdish family, more interested in knowledge and faith than in war. So, how did this quiet young man rise to become one of the most respected rulers in world history? Let's begin his incredible journey from the very beginning. In 1137 or 1138, at Yusuf ibn Ayyub, later known to history as Saladin, was born in the city of Tikrit in present-day Iraq. He came from a Kurdish family. On the very night of his birth, a political incident forced his father Najm ad-Din Ayyub and his uncle Asad ad-Din Shirkuh to leave Tikrit. Soon afterward, the entire family settled in Mosul. At the time, Mosul was ruled by Imad ad-Din Zengi, one of the first Muslim leaders determined to resist the Crusaders. Saladin's father and uncle entered Zengi's service as military commanders. A few years later, the family moved to Damascus, where Saladin spent most of his childhood and youth. Unlike many young nobles of his time, Saladin was not initially fascinated by warfare. He devoted himself to studying the Quran, Hadith, Islamic law, Arabic literature, and history. He also learned horseback riding, archery, and swordsmanship, but historical accounts describe him as calm, humble, disciplined, and deeply religious rather than aggressive or ambitious. Meanwhile, the Muslim world remained deeply divided. In 1099, during the First Crusade, Jerusalem had fallen to the Crusaders, who established the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Other Crusader states soon emerged in Edessa, Antioch, and Tripoli. Muslim rulers were often engaged in rivalries with one another, allowing the Crusader states to strengthen their position across the Levant. In 1146, Imad ad-Din Zengi was assassinated. His son Nur ad-Din Zengi inherited Syria and continued his father's mission of uniting the Muslim world against the Crusaders. Saladin's family remained among Nur ad-Din's most trusted supporters. As a young man, Saladin gained valuable experience within Nur ad-Din's court, observing military planning, government administration, and political decision making. At that stage, no one imagined that this quiet and thoughtful young officer would one day become the liberator of Jerusalem. Around this time, Egypt entered a period of political chaos. The Fatimid Caliphate had grown weak, and powerful ministers competed fiercely for control of the government. At the same time, King Amalric of Jerusalem repeatedly invaded Egypt, hoping to bring the wealthy country under Crusader control. The Fatimid Vizier Shah appealed to Nuruddin Zengi for military assistance, recognizing Egypt's strategic importance. Nuruddin appointed his most capable general Shirkuh to lead an expedition. Accompanying him was his nephew Saladin. In 1164, Shirkuh and his army marched from Syria toward Egypt. For Saladin, this was his first major military campaign, crossing vast deserts. The army entered a land torn apart by civil conflict, political betrayal, and foreign invasion. Shirkuh understood that controlling Egypt would not only secure one of the richest regions in the Muslim world but also provide the resources necessary to challenge the Crusader kingdom of Jerusalem in the future. Throughout the campaign, Saladin closely observed real warfare, diplomacy, and leadership under his experienced uncle. Although he was not a famous commander, his discipline, intelligence, and composure quickly earned Shirkuh's confidence. Before long, his name also became known within Nuruddin's court. Yet no one could have predicted how dramatically this Egyptian expedition would change history. Within only a few years, the young officer who had entered Egypt as a subordinate commander would rise to become the most powerful man in the country. From Egypt, Saladin's extraordinary journey toward unifying the Muslim world and reclaim Jerusalem was about to begin. Thank you for watching this episode of MG Stories Creation. If you enjoyed this documentary, please support the channel by leaving a like, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell. Your support helps us bring more authentic stories from history. Until our next journey into the past, take care, and I'll see you in the next episode of MJ Stories Creation.